My name is Jason and I go by Professor Sports Cards, and this is week 7 of this 10-part series. Every Sunday I make a rookie card video just like this, and today is part 7 of this quarterback series where we're taking a look at Justin Herbert, who very well could be the top quarterback on this list, yet he's at number 7. Justin Herbert was drafted in the 2020 deep quarterback draft class. He was the 6th overall pick after Joe Burrow going number 1 and Tua number 5 to the Miami Dolphins.
We may have that we put in the same category. And they throw caution to the way they make the pick.
Joe Burrow has 6 rookie cards in his Oregon Ducks uniform. You can see here, Prism Draft Picks has just over 1,000 copies in a PSA 10. It's selling for $40, and that's a common thread or trend among these rookie cards in Oregon Ducks uniform. You can see they're all between $30 to $40. That being said, Prestige by far has the least, which is $44, and it's also the cheapest at $30. So if you're going to buy one of these college cards, Prestige it is. Here is the Elite number to $7.99 and his Luminance card. These were hard to get a exact price for, but there's 51 in a PSA 10 for Luminance, and the Elite has 21.
Yeah, I'm just a quarterback hater, I guess, but every year the quarterbacks get pushed up the draft board and so many of them fail, and I think that the 2 quarterbacks that are getting grouped in with Burrow and Tua are Herbert and Love, and Herbert had 100 screen passes last year and only 328 other passes that weren't screened. 28% of his passes were screens.
And I just can't listen to this guy anymore. He threw 32 touchdowns that season and 6 interceptions. On paper, it looks mighty good to me. As always, we start with the most populated rookie card in 2020, Prism PSA 9. Justin Herbert has almost 8,000, just under, and it's selling for just under $40. It's a lot of cards. In a PSA 10, also a lot of cards, 5,353 in that grade, and that number is going to keep climbing because these are just recent cards. It's currently selling for $135.
Oh! It's Justin Herbert! Hey, you Buzz Lightyear. Pleasure to meet you, yeah. I was in! Touchdowns.
Next is his Don Russ in a PSA 10. You can see also a lot of copies graded, just under 7,000 in a PSA 10 Don Russ, and it's selling for $75 currently. In a PSA 9, it's selling for under $20, and there are 3,354 copies. A lot of copies, and that's why these card values are maybe lower than his performance.
You are lifting weights?
Correct. Does it not look like it?
More of the same, 2020 Mosaic PSA 10, over 5,500 copies. A lot of Justin Herbert. I understand why. Very talented. People want to grade his card, but it also just means the print runs on these are extremely high. To add to that, he also has over 30 base rookie cards. So you can find this Mosaic for just under $60 if you want it in your collection today. And a PSA 10 is 2020 Optic PSA 10, a little less now. You're looking at $3,091, and it's selling for $107. So you're starting to see the Optic out of all of the premium base big cards that we all know about. The least is Optic in the print run. They're just under $1,800 in a PSA 9, and it's currently selling for $41.
I was pretty mean to my younger brother, Patrick.
You want to apologize to Patrick?
Sorry, Patrick.
I cried when you shaved it! I really did!
It wasn't that bad.
Now that we've looked at the most populated rookie cards and really his biggest rookie cards, Prism, Optic, and Don Russ, if we just added up the PSA 10, you're looking at over 15,000 copies graded, and it really goes much further than that. The Prism card itself, if you look at the top right-hand corner, there are 14,250 graded total, any grade, mainly PSA 10 and PSA 9. Again, if we look at the Don Russ, we'll see the same exact thing. There are 10,590 copies graded total. If we do the math, that's just about 25,000 copies graded total between the Don Russ and the Prism. Well, we're going to look at a chart here by Sports Card Investor, and we'll see that 25,000 cards would put it right here on the most graded cards. These are just football cards of all time, and we're going to look at this list more later in this video, so stay tuned. We're going to get back to his cards, and then I want to go over the current cards to these cards that are the most graded of all time, many coming from what is called the junk wax era, or just when they started printing a lot
My
of
name's
cards.
Justin Herbert, and I play quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers.
New Orleans on that Monday night. And they hand it now to Joshua Kelly. No, it's Herbert, and he's taken off. There goes Herbert down the sideline.
Now, this modern era is producing many rookie cards without big pop counts. For instance, the Rookie and Stars in a PSA 10 has 361 graded, as well as Playoff has 303, and on the right, Illusions with 371, and all three cards are currently selling for $40. The XR, there's only 8 that I could find in a PSA 10, and I did find a sales price of about $120. In the middle, we're looking at Justin Herbert's Select rookie card in a PSA 10. There are 2,340. Also selling for $40. On the left and right, I could not find valid prices. On the right is his Chronicles. There are 243 in a PSA 10, and Contenders Optic on the left, and there are 65 in a PSA 10.
Fight when people attempt, but that was almost so good. Would you just give him a card? What the fuck is happening?
I own a recruitment agency for IT professionals, so I...
You know how upset I am at you? I thought you came here because you were a fan. You just out here, this bitch out here soliciting. Ain't that crazy? Your company was like, we need you to go to a career fair. And you were like, I am. I got you. Don't worry. Friday, 7:30. That is actually planning ahead. That's not racism. That's stereotyping correctly. You were right. If you were wrong, it would have been fucked up. But literally within arm's reach, there's 6 fucking potential candidates right here. She's gonna get a whole ass bonus off of my show. I'm not gonna see $1 off of this. When you need your house worked on, you come to like a Gabriel Iglesias show, or what do you do? I need to remodel the kitchen. When is Fluffy in town?
On the right, we already went over his Mosaic, over 5,500 in a PSA 10. And on the left is his Phoenix. That's his Fireburst. And there are 2,349 copies, and it's selling for $83. Playbook, they're just 190, and it's selling for $45. And finally, Absolute, under 5,000 copies, and it's currently selling for $35. Moving forward, we have Zenith on the left, just 2 in a PSA 10. Panini Black, just 3 in a PSA 10. Certified, they're numbered to 399. There are 48 in a PSA 10. It's the only one I could find a solid sale price for at $120. Gold Standard is serial numbered to just 99, and there are 0 copies in a PSA 10. The last 2 rookie cards of Justin Herbert we're going to look at is the Spectra, serial number to 99, and a PSA 10. There are 14 copies, and again, hard to find a solid or consistent price. In Obsidian, there are 42 in a PSA 10. The comparison that's going to continue over the next decade, if we're lucky, is Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow was the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 draft, and Justin Herbert the number 6 overall pick in the 2020 draft. So in a moment, we're going to take a look at their cards side by side. If you had to buy one or invest in one of these players' careers, who would it be? It's easy to say Joe Burrow, but Justin Herbert looks just as talented, and he's the 7th quarterback we're looking at in the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. And really, Justin Herbert has a case to be made that he might be the most talented of them all, and I'm looking forward to watching this rivalry through the years. However, let's take a look at the stats so far, and you see that Joe Burrow's played 42 games and Justin Herbert 49. Overall, they're back and forth through the stats. If you look down the list on the right there, you're going to see their rookie season, how often they went deep, and that Herbert was in the green of overall completion percentage. That's why he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And on the right is the 2022 season, Joe Burrow possibly having the better season of both. However, Herbert with more completions and more passing yards. In total, Herbert's played 3 seasons as well as Burrow. 14,000 yards, 94 touchdowns for Herbert, while Burrow 11,774 yards with 82 touchdowns. He won Comeback Player of the Year and has had a Super Bowl appearance. If we take a look at their Prism cards, their base rookie, well, the Burrow is selling for $420, while the Herbert just $135. The Burrow, there's about 1,000 more copies in a PSA 10, but either way, this is a lot of copies in a PSA 10. You're going to see that the most graded football card sets of all time, 2020 Prism is right there in 3rd place. Above it is 2020 Mosaic with 250,000 copies total graded. So these two players just have a ton of rookie cards. Select 2020 makes this list number 8 spot. And I told you we'd come back to look at the top 10 players graded of all time. And Brett Favre at 14,000, that Stadium Club card, I love that card. That was a childhood grail to me. Well, that's going to be overtaken very, very soon. We have Jerry Rice at the top of the list with 34,000 total cards. That's the 1981 Topps, and keep that in mind. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But before, let's take a look at Prism from Mahomes with just under 4,000 copies in a PSA 10, followed by 2018 with Josh Allen with 1,900. But Burrow and Herbert will combine. They have 11,500 copies in a PSA 10. Same thing goes for Don Russ. You see Burrow and Herbert again, over 6,000, almost 7,000 copies for Herbert, 5,000 for Burrow, going back to just 1,500 for Mahomes.
I played dodgeball with the guy. Every pass he threw was a headshot. Everyone.
That's it.
Another one.
I think he's probably the most talented quarterback in the league.
Just to further state a point, there's a lot of this 2020 graded Panini Prism. There's almost 200,000 cards total graded with PSA. And you can see the 1986, which has the overall most graded card ever, Jerry Rice. It only has 117,000 cards graded. Let's go back to the list. You can see Score 1989 has number 4, Barry Sanders, and also number 9, Troy Aikman, graded in that set that make the top 10 all time. In 1989 Score, there are 109,000 cards graded, while the 2020 Mosaic has over 250,000 cards graded with PSA. This is a problem. As great as Burrow and Herbert can be, and they probably will be in their career, these create ceilings on their cards with the amount of pop count and print run in 2020 product. They correlate, no doubt. There's a high pop count. That means there was a lot of that card printed. You can see 1981 Topps Joe Montana. He's one of the all-time most graded cards, and there's less than 70,000 cards total graded with PSA in the 1981 Topps football. However, 2020 Panini Don Russ, over 70,000 cards graded with PSA. It's a lot of 2020 product. Let's take a look at some of Justin Herbert's rookie accolades. He has the most 300-plus passing yard games as a rookie with 7, beating out Andrew Luck, who had 6. He has the most touchdowns as a rookie. He ended up the season with 31 total touchdowns thrown. He also broke the record for most completions for a rookie quarterback with 396. It should be kept in mind that the NFL recently at the time went from a 16-game regular season to a 17-game regular season. However, that doesn't change the fact that this 2020 class is tearing it up. They were the 4 top 10 fantasy quarterbacks in a season. They were 3 of the top 5 players in MVP odds, and they are 4 of the top 10 players in touchdown passes in 2022. Joe Burrow was the number 1 overall pick, the quickest to ever get to a Super Bowl. Tua was leading the NFL in passer rating. Justin Herbert is the only quarterback in NFL history with 30 touchdown passes in each of his first 2 seasons. And we all know now Jalen Hurts had a Super Bowl appearance and looked really, really good. Also, MVP odds. This was with 5 weeks left in the 2022 season. After Mahomes, it was all 4 of these quarterbacks that were taken in 2020. Now, again, we've looked at the first 6. Today, Justin Herbert is 7, and next week, Trevor Lawrence. The league has a lot of young, good quarterbacks. The only quarterback that's not young on this list would be Aaron Rodgers. Everyone else could have themselves a nice, long NFL career. Justin Fields, does he fit in, or is he the odd man out?
Justin Herbert getting a new deal. Chargers fans have to be thrilled. Take me through it.
A massive, massive deal for Justin Herbert, the franchise quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers, and really one of the best players in the NFL, regardless of position.
Put your hand up like you're signing, just like that, looking up at me and smiling.
It's a great day to be a Charger, Yam. Congratulations to Justin Herbert. Congratulations to the Chargers organization. You know, and all the fans, because we know that we have a quarterback in the saddle right now that can bring us a championship.
Air horn just sounded. Practice about to start. Training camp is underway. We're at the Jack Hammett Sports Complex down here in Costa Mesa as the Chargers kick off training camp today. They do it with a huge headline.
I figured this was coming.
Justin Herbert becomes the highest paid player in all of football. They extend him 5 years, which means he is with the team for another 7 years.
You know, I've I've never wanted to be anywhere else. This is where I've wanted to be for as long as I've been born and playing football. So it's a dream come true, and just really excited to be back out there with the team today.
What emotion did you feel when you signed it?
Words are hard to find for this process. I'm still trying to process the whole thing, and I feel free and just excited to go play football, and that's the biggest focus right now is it's just football, and I don't have to worry about anything else, and I'm exactly where I need to be with this team, and we've got the right guys in that locker room. So this offseason was a lot of fun with them, and just looking forward to this camp and upcoming football season.
Today we went over 26 different Justin Herbert rookie cards. We looked at the plethora of 2020 PSA graded rookie cards, and just the print run is really high, and this is one of the best quarterback classes out there in recent memory, and it's just unfortunate that it's kind of spoiled by the amount of pop count in all these cards. My personal take as a diehard Raider fan is I think this kid is for real. He's excellent. However, there's a lot of young competition in this league at his position. 2 quarterbacks from his draft class just 3 years ago already have conference title championships. I still don't like the fact that 2020 just has overprinted cards and the PSA populations are very high. Stay tuned to next week where we look at Trevor Lawrence. Do the populations continue to stay in that direction? Give a like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.